people in the chat are riding with the Gucci train. Because I feel like, TD, I could be wrong. I think there are more people than you'd expect thinking that Gucci's going to walk away with a victory.
I agree, especially this ride he's been on. I mean, he's the hottest player. I know we said Jwall is, but as far as the clubs go, Gucci has been on fire, upsetting left and right. We'll see what he's got here on offense to start this thing off.
Play scared all game.
Taking a look at Gucci's item to watch. He's got that Randy Moss out there with Rap Tech.
Yeah, that final 16 game versus Manu, that Randy Moss was just amazing. I mean, he was throwing touchdowns to him all over the field on that corner route out of bunch. We'll see if he goes back to him today against Jwall.
Second down and 12. Still rocking Rich Gannon at quarterback. They'll look to that out route, and that one almost picked off. The acrobat Woodson almost forcing a turnover.
Yeah, and Gucci loves Randy Moss in the slot, so Jwall puts his acrobat on him in the slot, and that was a tight window. Almost had a pick, and Gucci already in a difficult 3rd and 12.
Gucci, one of the few people to run that Terry McLaurin up to this point. We'll see how many other people might have added McLaurin to the squad, but he's got Scary Terry out to the right side. Gannon on 3rd and 12. Step in left, and he will throw it to McLaurin. But McLaurin won't hold on to it, and so Gucci, in his first Final 8 game, playing for $25,000, he goes 0 for 3 passing, well 0 for 2 passing, gets stuffed on a run, and is forced to punt it away.
What a start for Jwall. You saw that Terry McLaurin. He has playmaker ability, so a lot of guys have switched from Deion Sanders to that Terry McLaurin.
Get out of here,
but what a defensive stand for Jwall. Nice little move right there. Nice return. He's already in business now at his own 41. You take a look at that Steve Smith playmaker. So we saw Terry McLaurin playmaker with Gucci. Now you have that Steve Smith playmaker for Jwall. A lot of guys have gone away from that Deion Sanders receiver and gone to these two for that playmaker ability.
And Ty, we talked about, everybody playing on the patch. The biggest thing has been sort of, looking at how the rosters have changed. As guys, don't forget, use that hashtag Madden Club Championship. Tweet at us. We might be reading your tweet live on the air. You can also win some MUT items made up of the remaining 4 AFC teams, and you can see your tweet on tonight's broadcast. Really, there's no reason not to do it. So head over to Twitter, use that hashtag Madden Club Championship.
Get points.
Ty, but I'm interested to see Bunch. Everyone's been talking about how Bunch has been changed so much. Some people are trying to downplay it, but some people are saying the Bunch offense is completely hosed because of this patch.
Yeah, I don't think the Bunch will ever be like that because it's so good. You can always adapt with it. But to your point, the patch did change cover 3, so you can't really. A lot of guys went to that Jets and Lions playbook for Bunch to bomb cover 3 out of the clear out play with that slot stock fade route. But I still believe there's ways to beat it over the top. So the Bunch players are going to stay in Bunch, and then the Trips players are going to stay in Trips. And Jwall here on offense in that Vegas Raiders playbook, one of the best Trips tight end players in the world.
2nd and a yard. Jwall's going to go to the goal line. First time we're going to see a fullback dive. No need to see if the reach for it is there because Marcel Reese picked up 2 off the rip.
Yeah, that was an easy hole right there. Talking to some of the guys last night, they were worried about their red zone offense when it comes to these fullback dives and power O's. But on that inches right there, it wasn't a factor. He just had the seam to Reese up the middle.
Gannon. Stepping right, trying to playmaker, but good coverage downfield. Gucci trying to lock up on defense and get a stop of his own. Just 18 years old. TD, you were a little older when you made your Final 8 appearance back in Madden 19.
Yeah, a little bit older. 18 years old, playing for. He's already won $25,000. He's playing for another $25,000 right here. Just imagine that. 18 years old. That is just impressive stuff by Gucci. And remember, last week, Gucci will tell you how he feels, right? And he said, those TNC boys, they better get back in the Discord. He's going back up against another one of those TNC boys, Jwall. And for so far, it looks pretty decent on defense. See what Jwall can cook up here on the 2nd and 10.
You handed me $25,000 when I was 18 years old. I don't want to even think about what I would have done with that money. 2nd and 10. Over the middle. He's got, there it is. There's that playmaker, Steve Smith, to the 33-yard line. First completed pass of this game.
You see that MUT player to watch, Steve Smith with playmaker. Like I said, guys switched these last few days or this last week to the Steve Smith. One of the best items in the game now with that playmaker ability.
Long-time Panther and Baltimore Raven. 1st and 10 over the middle. There he is again. Number 89, Steve Smith. Picking up 8. And you see right now, without those cover 3 bombs, it's a lot of working underneath.
Yeah, and to me, besides Gunslinger, I think playmaker's the best ability in the game right now. You saw it right there. Gucci was all over it with his user, but the playmaker is so good and so difficult to defend that Jwall is able to do it and get by the user.
Big hit in the backfield. Now, for a lot of people talking about that reach for it, we talked about how it might change the play calling in short yardage situations. I know there are a lot of people that are actually really excited about that because they want to be rewarded for making the right gap shoots and hitting the running back in the backfield.
Great point. I think it was a good move. I wasn't a super fan of the reach for it. You know, it was a very controversial kind of topic. Same with throw out a sack. So now that it's gone, guys have to.
Let's go, Barry.
Oh, nice little play right there to the wheel route. But yeah, the reach for it definitely passed. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys manufacture offense in the red zone.
Take a look at his ranks in the final 32, how good he has been on offense. 5th in yards per game, 3rd in yards per play. Is it legal to throw to Barry Sanders while you're wearing a Barry Sanders jersey? Because I feel like that's unfair influence by Jwall.
Right, and that Barry Sanders is such a good card in this game. These TNC guys, they love that Barry Sanders.
Come on, Bo.
Now we see Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, no reach for it needed, picks up 13. Here comes that dreaded goal line.
Goes to that trap play, one of the best runs. And now, like you said, Nick, this is where it gets interesting now. With that reach for it patched, how are these guys going to be able to punch this thing in and fall forward? Looks like he's going to go right back to that fullback dive. Let's see what happens.
1st and goal. Fullback dive. Marcel Reese fighting for it, but he'll only get to the 1.
No reach for it, but Marcel Reese still fights, kind of falls to the side and falls forward a little bit. That's what Marcel Reese does. Big, huge running back, and you love him on those fullback dives. I expect him to go right back to it.
Bo at the top of the eye, Marcel Reese at fullback, 2nd and goal. It is Marcel Reese. He didn't reach for anything there. Down to the 1, 3rd and goal, back to the goal line. Well, he switched it up. No, who needs reach for it when you've got Reese for it? Touchdown for Jwall. First one in this final 8 game.
What a drive for Jwall. You hear him saying that's huge, and it is because he got that defensive stand, and then he gets on offense, and first drive, he goes down and gets 7. Big-time start to the ball game for Jwall.
A long 11-play, 58-yard drive from the 20-year-old from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Jwall, 7-0 lead.
One more stop, baby. One more stop.
You hear it from Jwall, the confidence he has. He knows one more stop, this could be over, already getting that early stop. And for Gucci now, his pressure's on here. We'll see what he can do to bounce back. Got to get that offense going because he didn't look great on that first drive.
First and 10. Gannon. And right side, 84, Randy Moss down to the 42-yard line. Picks up 33. We see the first smile from the 18-year-old.
And I'm telling you guys, I haven't seen anyone use Randy Moss as much as Gucci does. This guy throws to him 70% of the game, I would say. Corner routes, out routes. His offense relies on Randy Moss. That's what won him the game versus Manu. Right here goes to him for a big play on the corner route.
Timeout taken by Jwall's down 1 timeout. We're into the 2nd quarter. 7-0. That's got to be that play right there from Gucci. It's got to settle down some of those final 8 nerves just to pick up a big chunk of yards.
No doubt about it. That feels good. And that was his first completion in the game. So you always want to start to get in the groove. Just get some completions going so you build a little confidence.
1st and 10. There is Terry McLaurin.
We're playing with fire.
Picks up a yard. You know, some people, the bright lights turn on. They're in a big stage. They seem out of their element. That's not how Jwall seems.
No, that's not how he operates. This kid is full of confidence. He's been waiting for these type of moments since he's gotten onto the scene. And now he gets his chance.
Big first down there for Gucci, 18 years old. You know that one great user's pulling for him because he's from the 704s. Take a look. We got at Lucky Luciano 430 says, room for Sonat Gucci to pull off an extreme upset. This is going to be an amazing round of Madden Club Championships. Can't wait. Could not agree more. He's got 4 fantastic games today. Gannon on 1st and 10. He might have him left side. Looking for RB. Did he get him? Down to the 1-yard line is Gucci.
That is an absolute laser by Gucci. He baited Jwall to come down to watch the playmaker. Gucci with the patience. He fires the post to the pylon. I mean, that was excellent offensive football by Gucci.
First and goal.
Kill him. Now.
He's rolling. Roll, Marcel. Roll. He'll pick up half a yard.
I thought they almost gave that to him.
It's the new ability. It's the new ability. It's called roll over him. Who doesn't love getting a little sneaky in here? Gucci responds with a touchdown of his own.
This kid is tough. What a response. Just like that. It took less than 5 plays. He goes down the field and he punches it in with a QB sneak. And here we go. We're all tied up.
Jwall hit a big right cross. Gucci comes back with an uppercut of his own. 7-all, $25,000 on the line and a spot in the Final Four. Take a look at this big pass that set it up. Little crosser and a great throw from Gannon.
Yeah, you see he baits the user down with the playmaker and then throws a laser to the post, to the pylon. Gets down to the 1 and then eventually would punch it in. Here we go. Back to Jwall's offense.
3:32 to go in the first half. Jwall will get the ball to start the second half, so you know he's going to be thinking about that on this drive. Getting underneath, and that looked like Darren Waller with the catch. Current Las Vegas Raider to the 41-yard line.
Love the route combo right there by Jwall to the right side of the field there. He really stressed Gucci's user to cover that wheel in the streak. Backside he had the post. Throws a little low pass, fires it in there.
Waller, one of the great stories in the NFL, really rejuvenating his career in Las Vegas. Now, no doubt a top 4 tight end. Maybe better than that. Trying to throw it right side. Oh, a laser beam from Rich Gannon. Terry McLaurin to the 33-yard line for Jwall.
Pretty solid coverage from Gucci, but his user got caught lacking a little bit. Jwall waited for the crossing route to get by his man, beat him man-to-man, one-on-one. Throws it in there to the sidelines. Nice little offensive drive by Jwall, already going down the field.
And there's Sanders with the catch, trying to get sticky. Good tackle on the outside. Boy, Jwall moving the ball with reckless abandon.
He is. And Gucci, I'm surprised. He's going to a lot more zone blitzing right there. A lot more zone than man so far. Jwall, with everything open right there, takes advantage, throws a nice little dot.
Two-minute warning in the first half. 7-all the score. Don't forget, we got 3 more games today. Total of $100,000 in prize money handed out today. And then tomorrow, Ty, we get to hand out our first belt of the year.
First belt of the year on ESPN2. Someone's going to become a legend in this sport. Someone's going to get that glory, and they're going to get a lot richer as well.
Hand off to Bo. Bo will pick up 2. Timeout taken by Gucci. He needs to get the ball back.
Yeah, and Gucci using that timeout now. Getting to that red zone area where it gets tough. The field shrinks. Gucci obviously wants to hold him to 3 here. Jwall, I would expect him to stay in his trips. He went down to that single back run there, but still a little more field to work with besides being in the 10-yard line. So now at the 17, yeah, staying in that trips. Look for him to go some crossing routes to the pylon, maybe some corner routes, and use that playmaker to Steve Smith as well.
Second and 8. Screamer off the edge. Down goes Gannon. Jamal Adams absolutely screaming.
What a gamble by Gucci coming off the edge with the user rush. Jwall had his running back about to be wide open, but the gamble pays off, and Gucci gets a huge sack.
3rd and 17. 4-man rush from Gucci. Now he's going to drop back with Adams. Great defense from Gucci, and he should be able to get the ball back here as Jwall will attempt a 43-yard field goal.
Great defense from Gucci. He went with the user rush again, but this time Jwall picked it up, but just nothing open. The defense blanketed the receivers, and he's forced to settle for 3.
Kicks up. It is good. 10-7.
No, I was not. I actually didn't. Well, I kind of realized, but then I was like, when we got in the first column, it was it's definitely a little bit confusing. But there's also another YouTuber who goes by TDBarrett. So I've been dealing with being the second TD my entire career. I've always kind of been, there's always been 2 TDs, so I'm somewhat used to it.
Now listen, I love having these 2 here. Shout out to user and TDBarrett, but I still only 1 TD for me. And that's Tyler Davis.
Tank top twins.
Back to game action. We got Gucci with the ball, 2nd and 10. Rolling right and throwing this one away. It's the scary thing about playing Jwall, Tyler, is that he adjusts defensively so well that you might think you have stuff in the first half, and then the second half, it's all of a sudden you've got to change your game plan.
Yeah, he really does adjust so well. This is a huge drive for Gucci here, and it's already 3rd down. It's a huge drive for both guys, honestly. But for Gucci to get some points here, because like you just said, Jwall does get the ball to start the second half, and he could potentially go down and make it a 10-point game. So Gucci, just to get some points here on this drive and keep the ball out of Jwall's hands would be huge for him.
3rd down and 10. There's that playmaker. Oh, that was a nasty cut from Terry McLaurin. 1st down for Gucci.
That was awesome. I mean, he throws it on the run. It wasn't just a playmaker to left. It was left and up, right by Jwall's user. That was nasty. Great play by Gucci, and that just shows you right there why that playmaker is so essential and so valuable in people's offense.
Bunch flip to the wide side. Marcel Reese on the left hip. Former Viking, Raider, Rich Gannon. There's that playmaker again. It's Terry McLaurin, 40, 35, 30, down to the 31-yard line. Terry McLaurin making plays on this clutch drive before the half.
This Terry McLaurin is absolutely roasting man coverage. I mean roasting with that playmaker. I mean, he just destroyed his man. Same play by Gucci. He just goes to the same concepts pretty much. He loves the Randy Moss corner route on his Z spot, usually throws in a tight end crosser, and then he has the playmaker on a drag, and he goes to it. Looks like he's going to go right back to it again here.
Gucci rolling right. Thinks about throwing that corner out, but it's well covered! And we have a pick, and it's Sanders going the other way for Jwall. Gucci gets aggressive, and Jwall makes him pay.
And that's just a bad read by Gucci. He had the playmaker again. He had the underneath routes, but he forces it to the corner route to Randy Moss, who he loves in double coverage. You can't make that type of mistake versus Jwall.
1st and 10, 50 seconds left. Plenty of time for Jwall with 1 timeout to get down the field and put points on the board. 3-man rush from Gucci. It's back across his body. Anything you can do, I can do exactly the same, because we both have playmaker on wide receivers.
Madden 21 has become the year of the playmaker. Back and forth, both these guys, Steve Smith, Terry McLaurin, it doesn't matter. Deion Sanders we've seen last couple weeks. That playmaker is so good, but now both guys have no timeouts. This gets interesting here with the runoff. Jwall needs to get out of bounds.
Shout out to anyone in the chat who understood the Annie Get Your Gun reference here on the Madden broadcast. That's why I get to call all the games. 1st and 10. Gannon looking left and delivering a beam. Darren Waller to the 48-yard line.
And that's a big tackle for Gucci. He kept him in bounds. That was huge. Took off about 10 seconds there. Jwall goes down to spike it. But it was a great dot. He's at his own 48, so he can throw the ball inbounds here one more time and then get up, spike it, and take his 3.
Pizza Hut staying the site of all these MCS games. First ever virtual stadium rights deal, the home of competitive Madden. 2nd down to 10. Trips to the right side. He's got Smith on the inside, McLaurin now in motion, and Randy Moss wide right. Darren Waller, the tight end on the left side of the formation. Gannon facing a 4-man rush, facing some pressure, rolling right, and he'll throw this one away.
Great defense by Gucci. Jwall motioned over that out and up route. You know he loves that versus man coverage, but Gucci had a safety over the top to watch that, and then with his user, he took away the playmaker. Great defense by Gucci, taking away everything that Jwall wanted to do.
3rd and 10. Looking for that crosser, it's not there. It's just great defense from Gucci. So after giving up the big play, you talk about how important that tackle inbound was, TD. I thought it was going to be about the time he was able to take out the clock, but the biggest one was he used up an entire down that Jwall had to spike it on.
Exactly, and then 2 great performances on defense on those last 2 downs. And listen, we'd say this about Gucci, every time Jwall does something,
that might be a laser.
Gucci bounces back.
That might be a laser. That might be a laser.
How about punt dot? Punt dot, punt beam, punt laser, whatever you want to call it. The TNC Gucci special teams is back, Tyler Davis.
And now Gucci's going to go ahead and punt it right back, but he's inside his own 5. So Jwall's going to have to go offside. This is interesting here. This is very interesting going on right now from Gucci's play calling perspective. And it looks like Jwall's not going to go offsides, but he might have to, but it's not 4th down, so I'm confused. There's a lot going on right here.
Yeah, we're like getting into the deep delves of the rule book right now. So Tyler, for the people who don't understand what's going on here, let's talk about the rule instituted by the league ops about punts inside the 5 because of a glitch in the game.
Yeah, so if you try to punt inside the 5, the D tackle from the computer will come free and just block it clean. So what we've decided is to force the player on defense to go offside, so that way you get outside of the 5-yard line in order to punt the ball off. But right there, and we're gonna go to halftime. Right there was just they declined it, I believe, and we went to halftime. So nothing really crazy happened.
The old runoff. You saw a little smile from Gooch there. I think he felt really smart about that decision. It was a great punt, but nonetheless, it is 10-7 at the half. Jwall with the lead and the ball here in this final 8 game, our first one of the day. We've got a full day of action to come. For more on that, throw it back to Katie Emmer.
Thank you so much, Nick. Apex fans, February 20th and 21st, the Apex Legends Global Series Winter Circuit showcases the best Apex players in their regions as they go head-to-head to compete for their share of a $750,000 prize pool. Coverage starts Sunday, February 21st at 9:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stay tuned to twitch.tv/playapex to catch all of the action. And as Nick mentioned, a lot more to come after this game. Up next, there's more NFC semifinal action. It's a battle between Cowboys Club champion Fancy and the Madden Bowl runner-up D-Croft. Certainly a lot of eyes going to be watching for this game. That is coming up next. But first, we have a second half to be had. Nick, back to you.
Katie, thank you so much. 10-7 our score here at halftime. TD, this is a heavyweight boxing belt. Both guys been able to land punches, but no one able to land that knockout blow.
No, it's been an absolute battle, and that was just really smart by Gucci. That just comes with knowing the game, a lot of reps. He knew that if the runoff would happen if the penalty was declined. So interesting. I don't know what would happen if Jwall accepted. I don't know if that's allowed. So a lot of things went on, but it worked out great for Gucci.
Jwall going to run the ball on first down, and he'll pick up a yard with number 20. Former Oklahoma State Cowboy, long-time Detroit Lion, Barry Sanders. Second and 9. Alvin Kamara out there at wide receiver. He'll motion to the right side. Only a 2-man rush from Gucci. Looking left side, boy.
It's a laser.
Boy, couldn't get the feet in bounds. It was amazing, though. You had 9 guys dropping back in coverage, TD. He still found somebody open.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunate break. He couldn't get those feet down. He waited for Gucci's user to run away. Then he had the crossing route open in front of the deep zone defender. Couldn't get the feet down, though. And now looks like Gucci's going to go back to man-to-man coverage. So Gucci's been mixing up his coverages a lot here. Going to go back to man-to-man. We'll see if Jwall has an answer on 3rd and 9.
Over the middle, diamond catch.
Pocket.
Terry McLaurin on 3rd down, coming up clutch for Jwall.
What a chess match. Gucci brings the user rush again off the edge. Look at Jwall stepping up, stepping to the left. Phenomenal pocket presence, and he fires it in there to McLaurin for a 1st down.
Timeout taken. Crucial second half timeouts. Talk about how valuable they are. Jwall has to use one of them. Didn't like how his offense was set up.
That hurts too, especially in a close game like this. You got to use one of those second half timeouts. If he can go down and score a touchdown here, it won't hurt you as much. But if he has to settle for 3 or potentially get no points, that timeout can come back to haunt you.
I suck.
I mean, you're playing for $25,000. I wouldn't say you suck. Just a little rough run there.
Little poor stick work on Jwall's part.
Don't be so hard on yourself. 2nd and 9. Former Buckeye McLaurin motions over to the left side. Gannon back to pass.
Come on, Terry.
He's going to look for him. It's McLaurin to the 30. Inside to the 27-yard line. It's Terry McLaurin burning Gucci's defense.
Jwall's routes are just roasting the defense right now. You saw Gucci, he bit on the tight end corner route. Jwall with that patience, waited, hit the crossing route that beat man coverage. He's able to get another first down, so he's really starting to heat up here on this first drive of the second half.
Here in the red zone is TNC's Jwall. Moving around the pocket, but nowhere to go. How important Gucci to hold Jwall to a field goal here?
It's very important, especially with that clock starting to move a little bit. You don't want to be down 2 possessions. Gucci's doing a tremendous job mixing up his coverages right there. Look, gave him a man look in the pre-snap, and then it was a zone coverage. He baited him, using the routes well, forcing Jwall to throw it away.
Stepping up. Oh, late throw. Yep, set inaccurate, but that one looked like a beam to Steve Smith. 3rd and 2 for Jwall on the 19-yard line.
Yeah, he was stepping up, going left a little bit, and the threw back right. I thought he could have just took off with his quarterback. He's going to go with a quick snap here.
Let's go, Gannon.
And Gannon scrambling. Oh, to the 8-yard line.
Hit 7 and the game.
11 yards from Rich Gannon, not known as a speedster, but he had so much room out there you could have driven a Mack truck through it.
Such an underrated play right there by Jwall. He playmakered the receiver to the left to completely bring Gucci's defender and the user defender to the left so he could run right. Looks like he's going to go back to this single back run game.
See Gucci right there. Pumping up the late, great Sean Taylor. Oh, Sean, don't do those. That hurt watching him do those splits. Pulled a muscle watching that one.
Could you do that?
No. I wasn't even going to hesitate. I wasn't going to even think about maybe I mean, accidentally.
Oh, geez. That would be no fun.
Well, I would then live on the floor.
Come on, Barry.
Dead.
Come on, Barry.
Sanders to the edge. Sanders to the house. Jwall takes the first drive of the second half right down the field for a touchdown.
Huge drive by Jwall. He looked great doing it, and he's able to punch it in the red zone. The red zone is always so important in these games. Jwall punches it on the inside zone, and now he goes up 2 possessions.
Kick is away. So Gucci down by 10, facing a little adversity here in this final 8 game as we'll take a look at our Snickers touchdown replay. Barry got the edge. Once he gets the edge, you can't forget about it.
Just too much speed. These TNC guys love that, Barry, and Jwall's fired up because he knows how big that touchdown was.
A minute 33, plenty of time for Gucci, TD, but he has to he's got to answer this touchdown first, then think about getting the stop.
No doubt about it. And every time, we talk about Jwall and Jwall does something, Gucci is always resilient and bounces back.
That's the game!
But he throws a very risky pass on his first play. But Gucci known to bounce back. He's very resilient. Got to shake that off right there. That was just a bad read. We'll see what he goes to on this 2nd and 10.
The level next champion, Jwall, looking to add another title to his name. Back across his body, that's McLaurin. Ooh, tough throw, and McLaurin gets laid out by Jamal Adams.
Gucci is living life on the edge right now. I thought he could have just ran with his quarterback, but he decides to throw it cross-body to the playmaker again. 3rd and 3, look for that Randy Moss corner route again.
Might have had it instead of go to the playmaker.
That's all you have to use her.
How hard is it to use her, that playmaker ability?
Oh, it's so hard. You've seen it in this game. These guys are using the playmaker. They're all over it, but the playmaker is just so good. You can't stay with it sometimes because it cuts so fast. The playmaker is just so good, and then Gucci goes to it right there. I thought he had the corner out, like you said, but he goes to that playmaker once again. He's able to pick up a crucial 3rd and 3.
Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Gannon. Rolling right. And he'll find McLaurin once again. Even with Sanders out there, it just doesn't matter. It's time to head to the 4th quarter. 4's up. It's the 4th quarter, and it's presented by Snickers. Maybe you just need a Snickers. Put those 4's up in the chat. 2nd and 6. Moss motions over to the right side. Gucci back to pass. Has a man right side. Who else? Terry McLaurin picking up a first.
Once again, one word for you, playmaker. I mean, just back and forth. This time he goes to the right side. And this coming up here is the biggest 4 minutes and 55 seconds of Gucci's Madden career. Plenty of time here, all 3 timeouts. He's moving, but he wants to punch this in the end zone. Obviously, try to get it before the 2-minute warning so you can get on defense and save those timeouts.
Well, now we got 2 people to pick from whenever we want to bring in a third person to chat about the game. Let's bring in TDBarrett after a second because we got a pick on this play. There goes Dion the other way. Dion to the 35, inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. TDBarrett picking a great time to hop in the broadcast. Is that the game sealer?
Yeah, it's looking that way. I was just about to come in and talk about all the things that Gucci was doing well, but that was kind of a throw out a sack animation. I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much going to end it. Yeah, because Jwall
welcome
with
to
this
live
concept,
TV. You think you're going to talk about something, and then the game messes it all up. TDBarrett's got to be ready to flow with the punches.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh, I'm still on? Okay. No, I was going to say, this PAY shot, anyone watching who runs trips tight end, I would be definitely looking at this concept that Jwall is running with the drag, because Terry McLaurin on that, against that one step when he's running that crosser is absolutely cooking it. So Jwall is essentially making it him having to have to choose between the post or the drag coming back. Real tough to stop. And he's got a wide open.
Let's go! Over the middle! Randy Moss! $25,000 touchdown pass perhaps for Jacob Wallach. Tyler Davis, this man looks unstoppable.
He looks good. He's looking to make a run. That's an absolute beam to Randy Moss on the S route into the end zone diving catch. You can't guard that man, 84 Randy Moss, and Jwall blows this thing open.
I mean, Jwall is just running through it. As we'll take a look at the touchdown one more time. Randy Moss, ho-hum, another diving touchdown. But can we talk about the couple weeks that Jwall could, in theory, have lined up? Level Next champion, Madden Club champion, Mudhead League champion. I mean, that could be the greatest about 3.5 week stretch we have ever seen from a player.
That's what I'm saying. He's by far the hottest player in the game right now. He's about to get maybe another pick right here.
He just lobbed it.
But Jwall, listen, you saw it on the bio in the intro. It said his winnings, 17,000. He has a chance. He's already tripled that, I believe. And he has a chance to just blow that out of the water. I mean, that guy could potentially have over 100,000 winnings. Just what a year he's had so far, and he continues it. And he's looking to make another run and potentially win his first belt.
Well, under 4 minutes to go in this one. Gucci down by 17. Third and 10. Moss motions over to the left side. Finds Waller. It's going to be short of the line again. 4th and 5. 4th and definitely your ball game.
Yeah, this is your ball game. This is your season. This is your club championship run for Gucci. Got to stay alive here. Got to convert and got to start moving fast.
A low ball to Randy Moss. Randy Moss made a play for Jwall. He's able to pick up the first down, keep Gucci's hopes alive for a belt.
Yeah, if you're Gucci, you might as well go to your best player all tournament. It's been Randy Moss, goes to him on the out route versus man-to-man coverage, low balls it, fires it in there, gets a first.
Throw it back across his body. No gain on the play, and even more importantly, the clock keeps running.
Yeah, Jwall's really starting to tighten up here too. The windows are shrinking for Gucci. That man coverage, those one steps. You see Dion lit up there on the left side. This coverage is really tightening up and shrinking the field for Gucci.
2nd and 9. McLaurin out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Gets 5 for Gucci. First MCS live final appearance. Finishes in the top 8, it looks like. I mean, that's quite a way to start your MCS career with a performance like this.
No doubt about it. And I think everyone knows now this kid is legit. He has some great route combos on offense. He's plays with that swagger. His offense has been great. He's adjusted on defense. He's mixed up his coverages. I'm impressed with him. What a tournament run it's been. He's still hanging around here trying to make something happen.
Out route to Moss. Clock runs down to 2:11. Gannon, pressured over the middle. Metcalf, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. I mean, I'm just so impressed with what Jwall's been able to do both offensively and defensively, and more importantly, Ty, he makes it look easy.
He does, especially when he's on offense. I mean, it looks like this guy's just throwing bombs all the time, deep down the field, throwing lasers. He's got great pocket presence. And this defense, especially here in this fourth quarter, when Gucci's back has been against the wall, Jwall's really tightened up, and he's making it very difficult.
3rd and 9. Coming up next, we got the TNC battle. The NFC might as well be renamed the TNC at this point. We got Fancy taking on D. Croft. Ty, I don't really know what to expect from that game. The intra-crew matchups are always, they're either like 10-6 slugfest, or they end up being like 35-31 because everyone's just airing it out and bringing out offense you haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're going to get one or the other. I think the thing is, whatever you usually expect, as we see Jwall going to end this thing here, but whatever you usually expect from Jwall and D-Croft, expect kind of the opposite from them, because those guys are best friends. Talking to them last night, you know, they said they're going to have to do the little things well. They're going to have to think outside the box a little bit. It's going to come down to the red zone, because that's like a mirror match. Those guys know each other so well. They've played each other so many times this year. They got to do something a little different if they want to win.
Bo Jackson, why not? Exclamation point. Jwall's going to run this one out. He's going to be into the Final Four, and he is now 2 wins away from his first belt and $150,000 for putting a bow on Gucci's run. I mean, again, so impressive. You know, this is somebody who's made a lot of fans, and he ends with the trademark flip that camera. The camera's done. All right, you don't need to see any more of this. Hit him with the no signal. But this is somebody I think we're going to see competing for belts for the next couple of years.
No doubt about it. Nothing to hang your head on. If you're Gucci, you won $25,000. You made it to the Final 8 in the biggest tournament of the year, but he ran into a juggernaut. Jwall, the kid came onto the scene 2 years ago. We all thought he could be the next big thing, and here he is 2 games away. He's going to the Final Four.